This is Kobee with Rocky Mountain ATV-MC here to show you my Adventure Light CRF300L build. So I'm going to start this off by saying that this is not the ultimate end-all be-all build for this bike, but for what I'm looking to do with this bike, it just needed a few things to make it adventure capable. So I'm going to go through, show you what I've done to make it possible to do some overnighters, maybe some day trips, and be a little bit more comfortable. So the first category I'm going to go into is controls. And with controls, first off, I'm a bigger guy. I'm about 6'3", and this is a smaller bike. So I needed a little bit more room, or all the room really, that I can get in the cockpit. So to do that, or to help with that, I installed the Tusk Chubb bars with the universal clamps. They're oversized bars, a little bit more durable, and with those clamps, it did give me a little bit more rise out of the bars and a little bit more room. From there, I've got the Tusk accessory dash panel on those bars. When you're adventure riding, I need a 12-volt socket. In certain scenarios, I need some grip heaters. We even have a seat heater on here, which I'll talk more about later. But really, that thing, self-explanatory, just to get all your accessories in a nice, accessible spot on your bars. Moving on, I also needed some protection up here. For my controls, I've got the Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards. These ones do not have the turn signals built in. I was totally happy with the ones that came on the bike, but that is an option if you're interested in that. I've also got the Baja Design Squadron Pro light. More light never hurts. As you can see, this light does an awesome job. Definitely, it's easy to install, easy to adjust, and yeah, definitely something you're gonna want on any adventure bike. To wrap up controls, I'll move down a little bit on the bike. We've got the IMS Super Stock foot pegs. They're just a little bit bigger, give you a little bit wider footprint. They have more teeth, so more grip, and they're gonna be a little bit more durable. So moving towards the back of the bike, let's talk about some luggage. This is the Tusk Excursion rackless luggage setup. So rackless is the way to go if you're trying to stay light. That was my intentions for this build. I'm interested in day trips. Maybe I want to spend a night somewhere. This luggage is going to allow me to do that. So there's a few different kits as far as the excursion setup goes. So on the side, you've got 15 liters per side, and then you have a little bit of variety with your duffel bag on top. So there's an extra small, which offers you 10 liters of storage, or we've got the small, which is 22 liters, which I went with. And really, if you're going to try and spend a night somewhere, it's probably what you're going to need. But if you are trying to do multi-day trips, you're definitely going to want to bump up to something a little bit bigger. Maybe you want our Highland X2 if you're trying to stay rackless, keep things closer to the bike. The Highland are going to offer you a little bit more storage on the sides. We got 25 liters per side. It's also going to allow you to run our medium dry duffel on top, which will give you 33 liters. But if you want something a little bit more solid, we do offer a pannier rack system for this bike. Now moving up to my tank bag, this is the Tusk Olympus small tank bag. Now tank bags are just a must for any adventure bike build. They're just great for storing all of your smaller quick access items such as your phone, chapstick, sunglasses, or in my case, I'm a video editor. Sometimes I'm even carrying a camera in these things. Your chargers, really just everything that you want quick access to. You're not trying to dig through all the luggage in the back. You gotta have a tank bag for those things. Moving on to protection, like I mentioned, definitely had to have some wraparound handguards. Another point I want to say about those is when you're adventure riding, you definitely can carry spare levers, all that, but it's definitely nice to have these wraparounds and just not have to worry about that. Your simple tip overs, these often are enough to keep your levers safe, therefore not having to fix that as much on the trail. Now moving down to the bottom of the bike, I've got the AXP HDPE Enduro skid plate. So something I wanted to mention towards the beginning of the video, but I'll say it now, is that the CRF300L is a soft bike as far as suspension goes. Hence the rackless setup, hence the plastic skid plate. We do offer aluminum options as far as skid plates go, but this thing just can't handle any more weight besides the rider, so I'm trying to keep it as light as possible. Sticking towards the bottom of the bike and moving on to comfort. So I did throw a Tusk shift lever on there, a little anodized red. Just goes along really well. This bike's really good looking in its stock form. Moving on to the seat. So this is from Seat Concepts. You can get this in a complete seat, or you can get it in the foam and the seat cover option. We went with that so that we could also install a Tusk seat heater. Now it's over 100 degrees out here in midday, so that's not something I'm using right now, but in the future, it's something that I will be grateful for. Along with heated components, we've also got Tusk heated grips. Again, I'm not using them today, but someday I'm going to be very grateful for them. One more thing I want to bring up is the Tusk fender eliminator kit. So on these adventure bikes, we do tend to get a little bit more aggressive. Those stock fenders are just way too big. You risk damaging your license plate. So this just allows it to get a little bit more tight up towards the top of the bike, out of the way, so you don't risk that happening. So to wrap this thing up, let's talk about wheels. So I've got the Tusk D-Sport Adventure tires on here. We've put thousands and thousands of miles on these things and they never let us down. They are great for off-road, on-road, And if you're gonna get a little bit more aggressive, I had to go with some rim locks, some Tusk rim locks, and some Tusk ultra heavy duty tubes just to prevent flats as much as possible. And that does it for my light adventure CRF300L build. We do carry a lot of other things, but like I said, for what I'm trying to do, this got the job done. You could make some upgrades to the suspension if you're getting that ambitious. But for me, this bike has been a whole lot of fun. It's taken me to some cool places, and I'm gonna continue enjoying this bike. So to pick up any of the things that you've seen today, you can head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. We do have some comparisons with this bike versus the KLX 300. We have a versus in more of a first impressions, a stock form. We've also done a build for that bike, so make sure to check that out and subscribe to our channel for more cool content. But that's it for me. Thanks for watching, guys.